Hey guys, welcome back. So this is gonna be part 1. What if Izuku or what if Deku was a Super Sentai? Not just any Super Sentai. It's what if Deku was part of the #1 Super Sentai Gojiu Jャー. And by the way guys, if you haven't seen that series, go watch it. It's pretty good. And yeah, check out Justo M. He made the thumbnail for this video. And well, yeah, without further ado, kick your feet up, get some snacks, because this is straight peak, honestly. Well, goodbye. Woo!
Before the Age of Heroes, the history of all Sentai came to an end. A calamity which appeared out of nowhere struck down the Sentai's mighty titans. It seemed like every world, every universe and dimension were doomed to meet their end. Until the greatest of all titans arrived, the Tega sword. The titans pooled the last of their strength to cast off the darkness, before taking their last rest in the graveyard of robots. That is where the final titan Tega sword awaits, for the arrival of a savior. No, the arrival of a hero. Chapter 1, #1 Hero.
The story begins with a battlefield. This is the USJ. The villains are on a rampage, and Izuku is desperate to save his friends, but he doesn't know how. This is his first experience with real villains, like actual real combat, and he's not well versed in his own quirk to actually, fight back effectively. His entire class starts to group up, which is a deviation from normal canon. But Izuku, Asui, and Mineta are still, in their own little group. And while Izuku is watching Aizawa getting absolutely demolished by the Nomu, we see that Shigaraki actually tries to, attack him and Asui at the same time. Aizawa manages to, of course, again like in normal canon, deactivate Shigaraki's quirk, but this leaves an impression on Izuku. This villain is trying to kill him. So when it's time for Izuku to actually fight back, Izuku does not hold back his punches. And Nomu, we already know that Nomu is, quite strong, and it's able to tank the punch for Shigaraki. And Shigaraki starts to gloat and starts to say that the Nomu has shock absorption and different types of quirks that basically negate Izuku's, attack potency. And at this time, Aizawa should be actually looking at the Nomu and, depleting his quirk. But that's not what's happening right here. In this timeline, Aizawa gets badly injured. He is unconscious. He is not, awake to use his quirk. And so, in this series of events, Izuku has to step up much more, which leads up to Izuku actually, having to learn on the fly how to use One for All. In a way that won't actively try to break his bones, but that's, not as effective. He's only had this quirk for, under a month. But I know I'm rambling too much, so I know you guys want to get to the Power Ranger stuff, or Super Sentai. Izuku starts to maneuver his quirk in a way that won't destroy his body, but is actually actively destroying his body. So he uses the quirk in a way that he's only using tiniest bits of 100% on every move he's doing, so he can move at super speeds. But the Nomu, doesn't have this limitation, so it starts chasing after Izuku. And once Izuku's a good, let's say 300 meters away from him, Izuku has already broken a lot of his foot, and the Nomu has literally no damage. And Izuku, thinks that maybe if he uses the entirety of One for All throughout his entire body at 100%, he knows it might kill him, but maybe it will, well, slow this creature down just enough for his classmates to get out of here. And so he does. He activates One For All in his entire body at 100%. Like, I'm not talking like 20%, like, but with a little bit of a boost and an emotional adrenaline boost. No, I'm talking 100%. He just decks the Nomu in the face. So, I mean, it's like All Might punching him into space. But Izuku, well, let's say he should be DER right now. Like, right now. And it's at this moment when a quirk activates. It's not the warp gate quirk because Bakugo is currently taking care of that guy. It's sort of like a mud. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's All For One's teleporting quirk. And, well, everyone starts hearing a menacing clap.
My little brother, I have waited for this for so long. Your vessel is all broken. That man infuriates me so much to choose a pathetic weakling to house my little brother. Come now, little brother. Join me.
All For One tries to, well, steal One For All, but he meets resistance. Not only from the quirks or the spirits living inside of One For All, but from Izuku. He should be unconscious at this point, but Izuku has such a strong will that he is actually conscious and can see All For One, and he saw him calling him little brother. So Izuku, in this horrible state, he is actively resisting All For One's quirk extraction, which is fantastic.
Say that again?
All For One gets enraged and he says and starts threatening his quote-unquote little brother.
Little brother, if you don't stop resisting, I will kill everyone in this pathetic excuse for a theme park.
All For One lifts one of his arms and it starts growing in size and it starts, well, releasing effects from multiple different quirks. And, well, it starts, well, shaking the entire ground, but we have forgotten something. Someone went out to call for help. And yeah, it's at that time of the story or the timeline where, well, when All Might shows up. And let's just say, well, he is not happy. He just sees the destruction, the chaos, and his students having to fend off these villains on their own with no help. And then he sees Izuku laying on the ground. That pisses him off even more. But then his heart drops. His rage turns to fear. As he looks up, he does not need to recognize the face to know who that is. That menacing aura that makes you want to, I don't know, vomit from the fear. He feels it, and his smile falters. He knows that that scarred man is All For One. And after that realization, All Might rushes towards All For One, shouting his name, and clashes with him. In the ensuing fight, Shigaraki, Kurogiri, and some other villains were able to escape, and the fight between All For One and All Might goes almost exactly the same as in the Camino Ward incident, but this time, since All Might hasn't been using his powers as much, well, he's able to exert himself and, well, go beyond plus ultra and defeat All For One. But that leaves what happened to Izuku. Well, his classmates are able to pull him out of, well, the crater he's in from him just releasing 100% of One For All's, well, attack potency. And, well, he is in serious conditions. His skin, which was lightly color is now purple. Purple from all the bruising. There is not a part in his body that is not bruised. And if you touch his hand, it will feel like jelly, like there's no bone in there. That's how bad this kid just destroyed his body. Which, I mean, granted, he did save a lot of people. Todoroki and some other of his classmates were able to pull Izuku out of, well, the crater and, well, take him to emergency services immediately. Even while the fight with All Might and All For One was still raging. They acted like heroes and, well, his life was saved. They didn't know if he was, well, going to even survive. But after the battle ends, we go to a hospital. Izuku, well, finally wakes up after, well, a couple of weeks of, well, him being in a coma. The doctors weren't sure if he was even gonna wake up. And before even a single family member enters the room or says anything, All Might enters the room with a somber tone, and, well, he lets Izuku know that he has to give One For All back. All Might informs Izuku that during the fight, All For One told him about Shigaraki, that he was gonna follow in his footsteps. He was just as big of a threat as him, and he needed One For All out there, not in here. Izuku was about to protest, but All Might stops him and says that he has various injuries to his legs, arms, that are practically unfixable. He will be handicapped, or it will take so long for him to recover that One For All would just go to waste with him, that it would just not be used right in time before a great calamity appears again. Might apologizes, but he tells him the hard truth that some of us are just not meant for our dreams. And he tells him that,
I'm sorry, young Midoriya, but we have to be realistic. One For All will go to waste for you. Some of us are just not meant to follow our dreams. We need to be realistic about them.
After All Might says that, Izuku agrees to give One For All back. Some nurses come in and they start to, well, take Izuku's blood, and All Might tells Izuku to think about giving up the quirk. Having, well, the desire to give the quirk to someone else. After the procedure is done, All Might puts the bag of blood into a briefcase that is, well, cold. And he takes his leaves and apologizes to Izuku once more. Izuku just lays in his hospital bed, not that he can even move. He is essentially, well, paralyzed. He just stares to the ceiling, thinking about nothing. More like trying to. Izuku's mom walks in after a little while, and, well, she sees, well, her little boy in that state. And she noticed that something's wrong. It's not only that he's partially paralyzed. The doctors have said that he can walk again, but it will take a lot of physical therapy, and she imagines that, well, it's her, well, he's thinking about his hero career, and she says, "Do you want to talk? You know I'm here." Izuku tries to turn around, but he can't, and, well, he, for some reason, just tells her everything. The secret, All Might, his training, everything. And, well, he just breaks down. And he, well, expresses his disappointment. It was his dream and he couldn't do it. He blew it. Izuku asks his mom how does she deal with, well, how to deal with broken dream. And, well, Mama Midoriya starts saying that she had a dream once, but she couldn't, well, achieve it since she wasn't, well, good at her dream. And she said that when she failed miserably, she, well, smothered her heart. If she didn't expect anything, wishes, dreams, or anything like that, well, she wouldn't be disappointed. But then she says, but then I had you, so my greatest dream came true. So, it doesn't really matter, you'll find something. But that stuck with Izuku. He smothered his heart, never expected his dreams to come true, never wanting anything. Maybe that was the key to his future. Just not wishing or dreaming about anything. Just continue on living. Several months later, Izuku had partially recovered from his injuries. Now, he works at a convenience store. Thank you for your business. My god, did you listen to the way he talked to me? What a horrible service.
Yeah, what low energy. We should report him or something.
Midoriya, what are you doing? Be a little bit more hospitable. I mean, like, come on. Give me a smile. Come on. Smile.
Like this?
No, that's you just showing your teeth. Maybe you should just stick to higher energy, maybe. I mean, the boss already said if you weren't more hospitable, he might have to fire you.
Hey, everyone, hands in the air! This is a stick-up. Hey, you, Baldy! Give me all the money, come on! You wanna live? Yeah, I just need to get the money from the cash register, please, just do it faster, old man!
Izuku noticed that, well, while the guy entered, he knocked over a stand where they were hot dogs. And Izuku wasn't gonna take that. I mean, with his wage and the bills that he had to pay for UA, and his medical bills, and his physical therapy, and helping out his mom, well, he could barely even afford a hot dog. And hot dogs on the ground were a big no-no for Izuku Midoriya. Izuku, with his cane, yes, he uses a cane for now, slowly walks up to the hot dog and picks it up with a lot of pain on his hip. And, well, he just walks over to the guy, and the robber says,
Huh? You wanna die or something? Get back with the others if you don't wanna die.
Midoriya, he might be right. Maybe you should come back over here.
Shut up, sissy!
Shut up, Natsume. Hey, you dropped this in your way in. This is very valuable. And expensive. It's a luxury for a guy like me. And you just burst in here and drop them on the ground? You think I'll let that slide? Also, we make them fresh here. Always sizzling hot, like our prices.
What the hell are you even talking about?
Talking about this. Izuku proceeds to hit the guy with a scalding hot sausage straight to his face, which disorientated him for a bit. And Izuku took the advantage to actually start to mollywop this dude with his, well, cane. And while he actually manages to, well, disorientate and like actually hit this guy so hard with his cane on his legs, kneecaps, everywhere, he actually kicks him to the floor. Izuku goes, ow, I shouldn't have done that. Then he looks at his cowering boss and he says, hey boss, how was that for advertising for our hot dogs? And, by the way, I'm taking one of these dogs as my bonus. Then Izuku proceeds to bite out of the hot dog and his boss says, you're fired. Natsume looks at him and says, what were you thinking, Midoriya? You should have waited for the heroes.
Number 1.
After Izuku is fired, he goes back home and starts writing a new resume for his new job that he's trying to, well, get. But he keeps hearing something.
Number 1.
He doesn't know if it's on his head or is it something from outside of his window.
Number 1.
But he keeps hearing someone say number 1. He's obviously kind of freaked out about it, but he's trying to stay chill about it, so it's alright. Izuku comes downstairs with his resume and, well, he tells his mom that he has to go. That he has an interview for a new job, and she sees the resume sheet and says that, wait, you got fired again? What was the reason this time? Izuku sighs and, well, just says, like, you know how people are, and, well, I just got fired. Just like that. Alright, Izuku, don't forget, you need to study as well. So, don't get a job that's too demanding, alright? Yeah, don't worry, Mom. I got you. Well, goodbye, Mom. As Izuku leaves his house, he starts walking down an alleyway, and, well, the guy he beat up is there. He somehow managed to find out where he lives, or around the area where he lived. And he brought with him, like, some of his friends, some, like, crooks and people like that, like, unsavory people. Among the miscreants and, well, crooks, there's a bunch of, like, high school age kids and middle school age kids that are sort of just the same age as him. And the would-be robber is right there with him. He got a lesson sentence since he was a minor. The kids start, well, to heckle Izuku and start to say stuff like, "Hey man, what? Did this guy on a cane beat you up? How old is this guy? This guy's already unk. I mean, look at him waddle, look at him waddle." Izuku paid them no mind and started to, well, say that he has an interview and he doesn't want to be late for it. Izuku tries to continue walking, but the thugs stop him and they say, "Hey, we gotta get our get back. We cannot allow ourselves to be disrespected like that, old man. First of all, I am 60. Second of all, if you want respect, then earn it. Who does this guy think he is? I guess he wants to die early." At this statement, Izuku tightens his grip around his cane. And while the robber notices this and knows that stuff is about to happen, and then he says, "Hey, don't even think about doing what I know what you're gonna do. If you even so much as move a little bit while we're beating the crap out of you. We know where your mom lives. We know where you live. It'll be a shame if something were to happen to her, wouldn't it?" Izuku stares daggers at him and, well, he is about to do something, but he stops himself. "So are you guys gonna do it here? Or do you want me to beat myself up for you?" So they take him to a empty playground and they start beating him up. But as they're beating him up, Izuku, even while being partially injured still, he does not crumble or go down to the ground. Like, he stays up. And a guy says, "Just go down, man," and punches him straight in the face. And, well, he just looks at the guy glaring. And yeah, that's their cue to just, like, leave him be, since this dude is just not gonna go down. The leader of this little group of merry men just says, "Let's get out of here." He learned his lesson. When the thugs, well, left him, Izuku was still standing, but, well, he was injured pretty badly, so he was about to collapse, but that's when his friend Tatsume appears. "Oh, what are you doing here, Sumi? I just came by and I just saw you, so I needed to help you." "What the heck was all that?" "Just a fly, let it go." "It doesn't matter." "It's horrible. Isn't there someone that would be sad if you get hurt?" "There is, but that's none of your business. And even if there was, I'm just a random quirkless guy. That makes my life cheap." And now we turn our attention to a different world. A world you can probably classify as Noah's world. Here we can see a man walking through corridors and walking through a line of soldiers with bell faces. The man is walking towards a giant mech. As the man activates the mech, he receives a communication from a woman. "Mr. Fire Candle, please do not forget, before the Tega sword awakens, please retrieve the ring." "Yeah, I get the idea, Miss Bouquet. But the god of destruction or whatever isn't even gonna worry me. He's asleep, isn't he?" "And please, when you go to the other world, please try not to make a commotion. We don't want too much collateral damage." "Whatever. King Candler, take off." That guy really likes to make a commotion everywhere he goes. And now we go back to the normal world. And Izuku, well, he's recovering his injuries in a park bench with Sumi. Izuku is eating a burger right now and he says, Thank you for the burger. I'll pay you back. Oh, don't worry, it's the least I could do. And besides, it's 200 yen. I just wanted to thank you for what you did back there. You protected me and everybody else. Thank you. Don't read too much into it. The guy just annoyed me. That's all. Why were you working there, Mr. Midoriya? If you don't mind me asking. You gotta work to eat, don't you? I see. Well, that's pretty blunt. Me, I was working because I wanted to save up for my own live concert. Yep. I'm gonna sing and give my music to everyone in the world. I am gonna be the #1 musician of the world. #1? Okay, sure. Hey, are you laughing? You're laughing, you're making fun of me, aren't you? No, not at all. It's just pretty out there. Well, how about you, Mr. Midoriya? Do you have any dreams or anything like that? Like, wishes that you wanna, I don't know, maybe come true? Or that you're working towards? Wishes. Izuku gets a flashback of that moment in the hospital. No, I don't have any wishes. They don't serve any purpose to me. After that explosion, a giant mecha, the mecha we saw earlier in the other world, appears and materializes in the middle of the park. And throughout the city, a legion of monsters with heads the shape of bells started to appear. And as they appeared, they started to terrorize the entire city. Huh? So this is one of the worlds we created? What a dump! The giant mech starts producing gigantic flames that destroy buildings and honestly incinerate some people. The people being terrorized by these monsters started to claim that these guys were demons. The man piloting the mech immediately gets offended at this, and how did he hear that random guy calling them demons? I don't know. Huh? Who the hell are you calling demons? I came here to make sure that this dump of a world turns out alright. I'm a, wait, what's the word? A savior. Yes, I am the #1 savior. So suck on that. Throughout the explosions and the monsters, Izuku and his friends have been knocked down to the ground. And, well, his friend gets up and goes towards his, instrument bag and pulls something out of it. And he says, "It's time to use this ring." Then a claw materializes out of nowhere, and then he shouts, "Engage!
Sentai Ring! Stag Beetle Ranger!
Red Stag Beetle Ranger!" After shouting, his introduction, he immediately gets to work with the monsters and stupidly starts attacking the giant mech. Izuku's just left there dumbfounded and he just says, "Stag Beetle? What?" Tatsumi in his ranger form starts, piecing up all of the monsters, and he actually destroys some, which make the man in the mech really angry. "How could you? I really like those goobers. I'm gonna toast you over my fire." After this, the giant mech started attacking back Tatsumi. It's at this moment where Izuku actually stupidly runs towards Tatsumi to try to help him. And let's say that he's not that help. And he gets launched in the air with a blast. But this isn't the end of Izuku. A portal door opens in midair and Izuku just lands somewhere else. But as he's being teleported, he keeps hearing that word over and over. #1. Izuku, before landing pretty hard on the ground while he was, free falling while he was teleporting, right before he hits the ground, he just floats. Izuku looks around, but there's nothing. There's only a pedestal with a ring in the middle. That's weird. But just further, he can see something. It looks like the claw that his friend had on his hand, but just gigantic. As he's looking, he gets a vision and he starts feeling pain. He starts seeing visions of something. A giant mecha. Different from the guy that's attacking him. What was that?
You move out of the way. This is it. We finally found it. The core. The power ring.
The bell soldier that just burst in and told Izuku to basically move out of the way, takes the ring and shows it to all of his soldier subordinates. Stupidly proceeds to put it on, but the power was too much and it crushed him. It literally turned him to nothingness. The ring fell down and bounced over towards Izuku. Ice, please stand aside. That ring is the key to our destruction. It is said that the Tega sword's core is the ring. A ring wielding destructive power. Not the kind of thing you're capable of handling. Pleasure to meet you. I'm from No One World. I am the technical commander of the Brighton. Bucket the Loving. This new girl with pink hair bows respectfully after, introducing herself, but Izuku's confused, where did this chick come from? After Izuku's full attention is on the girl that just showed up, she starts talking again and she says, "To protect the safety of both of our worlds, I'm gonna need you to hand over that ring." But as if the power knew, or somehow was aware of what was going on around itself, it started projecting from the pedestal an image. It was what was going on in Izuku's world. Heroes failing to fight back these droves of soldiers and, monsters, and All Might failing to, defeat the mech, getting swatted away. He just sees people suffering through that projection, and then he sees his friend. He's failing, he's faltering in this battle. He looks at the ring and says, "So you're telling me if I use this, I'll get power?" I mean, that's what I got from what you just said. I wouldn't do that if I were you. You'll die. Its power is too great and too much. Izuku thinks it over, and, he smirks. Where have I heard that before? But you know what? Worth the risk. I don't care much for the world, but I have a mom that needs taking care of. And I still owe my friend 259 yen. Izuku, after saying that, puts on the ring and it starts shining and glowing, and it makes marks around his face. It seems pretty painful because he starts, shouting, and he yells, "Ah!" As he's yelling, he gets teleported to some other place, leaving the people present quite confused. Izuku opens his eyes to be in a completely dark place. Izuku looks around, but he seems confused, but then he looks up. The light starts to grow and he sees a gigantic mech, the one from the vision earlier.
Izuku Midoriya, this is a contract.
Voice, I've heard you before. You were the one who was calling to me. Who are you? What are you?
I am called the Tega Sword. I will grant all of the desires of whosoever gathers all of the rings. That is the oath of the rings. My promise. Tell me, Izuku Midoriya, what is your wish?
My wish? My wishes have all been shattered. My dreams have been broken as well. I'm done with wishes. Sorry, I got nothing.
You have yet to learn the truth about yourself. Right now, you are lost among the reeds. You are unable to measure the beauty of your world. And as such, I will leave you with this. You must seek to become number one.
Wait, number one?
In the battle that ensues that the rings will drive you to, you must battle to the top. Do this, and the world will open to you, and will reveal what you truly desire. And then your wish will come into your view. You will live again. You will become my hero!
Well, since I'm jobless right now, and it's not like I'm busy all the time. Yeah, why not? I don't have a lot of time to kill. You got a deal. I'll take your ring. At this moment, Izuku reaches out for the claw, morpher, and for his ring. In the moment he accepted his contract and reached out for his, tools, he was instantly teleported back to the battlefield where he was initially teleported to the No One world. Izuku was just standing there, and he felt great. His legs weren't hurting, nothing was hurting. He felt light, strong, and he just said, "Ah, yeah!" His shout was accompanied by a wolf's howl so strong that it vibrated, everything. And it made, the guy piloting the mech cover his ears from the pain. After this, howl, it cleared the skies, literally, because the Tega sword just awakened and was flying towards him. Wait, is that he has the ring? That means that human, he took it! Hey, hothead, you mentioned something about being the number one savior? Well, that works just fine for me, because whoever wins this battle gets to be number one. How about it? Wanna fight? Izuku uses his claw morpher, or whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure it's called the claw something Tega sword. I don't know. And he uses it to pilot the giant Titan. Izuku, once he's inside of the giant mech, he says, "Ring in. Metal Divine Fusion, engage! Tega sword red." Both Izuku and the Candleman get teleported to a ring for a fight. I'm gonna show you a thing or two about fighting, human.
Ready, seize it! Fight for number one hero! Go, 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 Zhuja! Go, 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 Zhuja! Go, 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 Zhuja! Go, 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 Zhuja!
After Izuku and the Candleman start staring at each other intently, out of nowhere, they both get a bunch of cheerleaders. It's like a genjutsu type situation, like Rock Lee and Guy Sensei. Yeah, and the guy starts announcing them both.
In this corner, we have...
Move out of the way! I don't ever lose, or show any mercy. I'll cut you, and I'll burn you. I am the Brighton's Assault Commander, Fire Candle. Get ready for my purifying flames.
And in this corner, we have...
Introductions. I lost every job I ever had, but I'm not looking for a job. I'm looking for a dream. My name is Izuku Midoriya, the lone wolf hero, and I'm gonna become number one. After that genjutsu, we're back to the real world, and Izuku just arrives in style with the Tega sword. Already in attack mode, he's already in Megazord mode. In typical tokusatsu fashion, it's approaching menacingly, with an explosion behind it. Izuku, from inside of the cockpit of the Megazord, he points at the King Candler and says, "From now on, you're my prey." Both of these titans start fighting in the middle of the city, and of course that causes collateral damage, but who cares? Giant robots fighting, and the King Candler is having a hard time since this is the Tega sword. The robot, the titan that vanquished the evil back then. Izuku right now is not sure how he's piloting this giant robot without any instructions. It's just coming towards him. He does flips around. He sweeps the legs of this mech. He starts attacking with a sword. And, he's doing moves that, aren't used by normal robots. He's using his, very limited training under All Might to actually, succeed in this battle. And so Izuku, as he holds the giant mech in a chokehold, he needs a finisher. Or at least try to do a finisher. And he makes the giant Tega sword open its palm, and he pulls it back like a Detroit smash, and well, since he's no longer All Might's protege, he just says the first thing that comes to his mind. Palm crush! In return, Commander Candler, he releases his giant jets of flame. And Izuku, in return, activates something that he didn't even know this robot had. Soul boosters. Which just make him fly. And as he's flying, he turns the giant Tega sword into its giant claw mode. And he starts karate chopping the King Candler. Like, that's how disrespectful Izuku's getting. The King Candler, after receiving this amount of punishment, is, down for the count, and it's about to explode. And inside, Fire Candler is not taking it well. There is no way that a human beat me. There is no way that this guy managed to bring me to my knees. No way. Not when I'm the strongest in the world. Izuku, after seeing this and hearing him somehow, he does the number 1 pose, and so does the Tega sword, pointing towards the sky, and this activates Tega sword's spinning mode. His back wings now turn into a blade, and the Tega sword starts spinning at a high velocity, and it starts flying, and as it's turned into basically a power drill, it goes directly straight towards the King Candler, bursting through the back. Tega Sword's Outlaw Breaker! There's no way. I was actually beaten. I'm dreaming! After he shouted that, he was teleported back to no one world. After he destroyed the King Candler, the Tega Sword lands and strikes a pose, of course, trying to aura farm. But there's still one problem. All of the eyes are still attacking the city. Izuku sees that the eyes are actually, tearing up the entire city, actually defeating heroes. And these guys are just foot soldiers. Izuku thinks, I can't fight them in this. Civilians will get in the way. Tega's sword stabs his sword on the ground. Izuku gets out of the side of the cockpit and slides down the arm and the sword. While Izuku is sliding, he uses the claw and takes off his ring, and he says, Engage! Clap your hands! Goju Wolf! After Izuku morphed into Goju Wolf, every single member of the Gozyugers felt it. Izuku landing saying, "Ah yeah!" Izuku looked at his new suit and he had to say it looked great. The red and the black and the gold really fit him. And even better, while transformed, he even felt even better. Like his injuries weren't even there, and now even lighter and stronger. So Izuku started running towards the soldiers and started piecing them up one by one. It was insane. He would flip one over, use one as a bat, or even use the claw blade to slash him to ribbons. He started doing the classic Power Ranger / Super Sentai move, which is just playing around with the monsters, the little foot soldiers. He started flipping over some, bending some, and just kicking them. And then one guy manages to get a hit on him, and bro doesn't move. And he decides to war form. Hey, you have to try harder than that. Izuku proceeds to double kick him in the chest, and the dude goes flying. Commander starts saying, "That's the ring of destruction, the harbinger of doom. Hand it over." Then he proceeded to use a bell attack that captured Izuku. Basically, imagine sort of a domain expansion, around him, but it's just a bell. And he fired some missiles into the bell with Izuku in there. What does Izuku do? He proceeds to run so fast around the bell, he makes the heat-seeking missiles clash into each other. And bro just uses the claw to drill out of there. As he bursts out of there, he starts fighting him. And bro looks like a fighting game character. He starts pulling like Haryukens out of nowhere. And then he says, "The Ring of Destruction? Nah, from now on this ring will be called the Ring of a Savior." Then Izuku proceeds to use his finisher move.
Finish finger! Wolf Claw! We have a winner!
Guess this makes me now the #1 hero. After a while, Izuku goes to the place where he and his friend were talking. It's been a long time since the battle actually finished, and he had time to go back to his home and, well, break his piggy bank. Doria, I have a lot of questions for you to answer me. But let's start with this. Izuku gives him 259 yen. I pay back my debts. I see you've taken up that ring. I don't have a dream yet, but I know this. We'll become #1. I think that's the only way I'll find out what I want for my wish. After seeing that, Izuku turns to leave. You don't even have a dream? Someone like that doesn't deserve that ring! His friend charges at him, full force, morph! Izuku quickly morphs as well and starts to battle his friend, and they're locked in combat, and he asks, "What the hell are you doing?" They fight while 2 men watch them. Okay, that's the end. Did you guys like it? Well, comment down below if you guys like it. Like, comment, subscribe. There's links to everything I used in this video down below. Maybe, but for sure, all of the music I used is down below. But without further ado, guys, goodbye. Have a great rest of your day. Hope you liked it. And, well, bye.